let's see. So on the same topic or so about plastic surgery, right? Well, we have someone who actually did die on plastic surgery. So I'm very curious to see what their plastic surgery did to them. And I can tell in the thumbnail specifically looking at that, definitely does not look very good, to be honest. I bet you she's probably someone young as well. But let's go see.
A 33-year-old social media star known as Mary Magdalene, real name Denise Yvonne Jarvis Gongora, has been found dead in Thailand after falling from a 9th floor balcony just hours after checking in. And what she posted right before has everyone shaken. She uploaded the final scene from The Truman Show, the moment Jim Carrey bows and says, and I quote, "And in case I don't see ya, good afternoon, good evening, and good night." Then she changed one of her Instagram users to Mary Magdalene died. So she changed her name from whatever it was before to something more cryptic and ominous to allude to the fact that she might end up taking her life soon. And below is an image that I want to show all of you. If you're listening, that's okay. But for those of you watching, here you can see a before photo of what she looked like before all these surgeries. She looked very normal, like a normal young woman. I do not know the context of which this photo was taken in, but she looked very, very normal. And for some reason, I'm going to assume due to body dysmorphia or the idea that she was not okay with the body or the physical appearance that she had at the time, she then decided to, in this after photo, go through dozens of surgeries in order to change her entire appearance. And even then, even after getting all these surgeries, she still was not satisfied. She still was not happy with who she was inside and what she looked like on the outside, and ended up taking her life. Speculatively, of course. This case is still ongoing. This is something that I heard from
she's scary, dude. She looks hella scary. I don't like that, to be honest. That is a very terrifying woman. Hell no, I would never date something like that, or touch that, or come near that, or breathe in the same vicinity, or look in the same vicinity, or nothing. That is one terrifying creature. It reminds me from one of the creatures from the void.
Another YouTuber, more on the political side. He talked about this story today and it got me thinking, right? Why do we allow obviously mentally ill people to go and get surgeries to this degree, to this extent? And a lot of these surgeries are apparently banned in the United States and in the UK. So she had to go to places like Thailand, possibly Mexico, Colombia to get certain surgeries that wouldn't fly here based off of our medical practice, our laws, and that, you know, a lot of doctors are simply not going to take on a case where they could possibly end up losing their jobs. And as for the photo that she posted, one of her last Instagram posts, and this is where it gets sad, right? So from The Truman Show, Jim Carrey, if you've seen the show or the movie, you know it's basically about a man who's in some kind of like dome compound where basically his entire life is being surveilled for a movie or a show of which he did not know he was in until he started picking up on subtle cues like things being out of place or instances of deja vu or a film crew or something from a film crew left behind that kind of raised red flags. It's a really good movie, check it out. But what's really sad about this situation is the fact that after this photo, and I'm gonna show you guys right now, she posted a photo of herself from her childhood. And you know, this is clearly an indicator of the stolen future she could have had she had the right mental care, had she not been allowed to get all these extensive surgeries and had sought therapy in multiple ways, not only mentally but physically. You know, the scared little innocent girl that, you know, I think sure we all, you know, we grow older physically, but sometimes mentally we have remnants of that childlike state that still remains within all of us, right? I believe this is how she felt before she died. She looked at an old photo of herself as a kid before going through all these surgeries. Even as a young woman here, you know, I don't know what she was going through before getting all these surgeries. And it just reminded her.
I swear to God, if I get fucking ad limitation or ad restriction or so because Maury is showing a lot of like kind of like a little bit of sexual stuff in it, I'm gonna flip a switch or so. And if he gets fucking monetized and I get limited ads or so because of this, I'm gonna flip a switch real fast.
of her former self, of which she no longer could relate to, and it's just sad. People with body dysmorphia, people with eating disorders, people who get dozens of surgeries and are still not satisfied with the way they look, the BBL bandits, the anorexia community, even people in the body positivity community who are morbidly obese and are trying to act like that's healthy physically or mentally when it's literally destroying their entire physiognomy, destroying their health, and
Yeah.
basically cutting their overall lifespan in half.
Yeah.
Like, all of that is body dysmorphia under the umbrella term of body dysmorphia and mental health issues, in my opinion. And here I'm gonna show you guys some footage of what she looked like after
dude.
getting all these surgeries, and it's just crazy, right? The boob jobs, the nose. Apparently she got like multiple lip surgeries to the point to where she can't even close her mouth anymore, fully tatted,
She
just
can't close her
gigantic, overly sized breasts, bosom. Like, it's just ridiculous, right? She looks like a demon, a monster. And here we have this one photo, right? Post rhinoplasty, right? As you can see, she got a nose job with this shirt on that says, "I have had 3 nose jobs, buccal fat removal, 2 brow lifts, multiple fat transfers to my face, lost count of all the fillers in my lips and cheeks, 2 sets of 20 veneers." So as you can see, I mean, she's just like it's crazy. She was not mentally healthy at all, and she was in Thailand, right? Before she died. Speculatively, she jumped from her hotel room. But she goes on to say in this shirt she printed out for herself, she also got 4 boob jobs, not including revisions, lipo multiple times, 3 BBLs, butt implants, butt injections, and yes, I'm gonna have more surgery, hun. Why? Because I can and I want to. Girl, by just pure mental illness, and for some reason doctors went ahead and proceeded to operate on somebody who was clearly mentally ill because what? Money. Yeah. But to read you guys a little bit of
I think
this,
there needs to be a ruler so that like you could only have a certain limit amount on your body or so. I feel like there needs to be some kind of like rule or law in place or something like that. Like, you can't, if you have if you reach like a certain amount or so, you can't have more than that,
story, they say, from the Daily Mail, a surgery-addicted social media star known as Mary Magdalene online has been found dead in Thailand. The 33-year-old, whose real name was Denise Yvonne Jarvis Gongora, died after falling from the 9th floor balcony of a high-rise condominium on Tuesday, the Phuket News reported this week. The Daily Mail has reviewed information released by local police that verifies her identity and has independently confirmed the death with sources close to the family. The Mexican-Canadian model's body was discovered by hotel staff in the park.
She's a Mexican Canadian? Well, that's the first I've ever heard that. I've never heard of a Mexican and a Canadian canoodling with each other to make a child.
Area
that is the first
of
I've
the
ever heard
Patong Tower after 1:30 p.m. according to local police, just hours after checking in for one night. Khalsad English reported that Gongora's body was transferred from Patong Hospital to Vashira Phuket Hospital for a full autopsy to determine the exact cause of death. Shortly before her death, she had cryptically posted the closing scene from the 1998 film The Truman Show alongside a childhood photo of herself to social media, of which, to go back to the post, we all saw, right? And it's just sad. Honestly, I think in today's day and age, like literally as I'm speaking right now at 2:46 p.m. on December 12th, 2025, I just want to document that date for future purposes and just, for reference, a reference point. I believe we are probably in the most mentally ill state of human history we've ever been, genuinely speaking. Sure, we have all the modern luxuries, the phones, the food markets, the financing of cars, the luxury items, the clothes, the cars, the travel, the everything, right? The validation of likes on online and all this bullshit that doesn't matter, right? But what we don't have anymore is like the foundation of like community and family and loving one another and proper mental health and a perspective of not
Ever since after COVID or so, definitely after COVID, mental illness has definitely reached a whole new high pinnacle on people. It has, definitely has.
Prioritizing the physical, but understanding that there's more to life than what appears to be inside your head, right? I mean, we're on a planet consisting of mostly water and carbon and spinning at 2,000 miles an hour and then around the sun at like tens of thousands of miles, and we're in a galaxy spinning on some type of weird axis, and turns out there's like billions of galaxies out there, trillions of planets out there, and you think about the macro and the large wide scale of existence, and then you zoom back down to the micro and understand that damn, life here on this planet is precious. And just even the odds of existing, like being born to your parents and being a
My sister
human
doesn't have
being on
any
this
mental
planet is like
illness, like
one out of
nothing
trillions, right?
crazy.
So once you're gone, you're gone, and life is precious. It really is, man. And I wish she, and many other individuals going through this type of like mental anguish can get the help they need, but not in this society, right?
I
People
ain't gonna lie, to be honest, her normal looks looked a lot better than this. She just looks ugly.
genuinely are just, I think we're all out of touch. We really are. And we are highly distracted from what really matters in this world. You know, a young woman like this, going from this, I believe she was in her 20s here, early to mid 20s, to now a decade later at 33 dying after looking like this. Clearly she felt like it was too late for her. There was no going back, and that she was too far gone. I mean, clearly all of this is a cry for help. And we keep validating this, right? We allow doctors and people to hype people up like this, where we feel as though that people should be allowed to chop their
What
limbs
in the
off, get extensive
what in the hell?
surgeries that can literally end up permanently disfiguring them. And it's just like, why are we allowing members of our population who are clearly in need of help to go through things like this that will likely not end up filling that void that they feel on the inside? And just to show you guys how bad this was, just take a look at this photo. If you're driving, don't watch, just keep driving. But for those of you like actually able to see the
Is he gonna get age restricted?
screen, this is crazy, bro. The size of her breasts were crazy, bro. The amount of tats and the surgeries and the BBLs and the lip operations, the Botox.
Those
Mind
can't
you,
be
she
real.
went from looking like this before all the surgeries. In my opinion, she was a pretty girl. Another photo here, to looking like this.
Ew.
This,
Ah!
and this. Ladies and
Oh,
gentlemen,
God.
thoughts and opinions down below. I just wanted to touch on this. I wanted to talk about this because, listen, a lot of people are out here struggling and they're doing things. They're physically harming their bodies in some kind of subconscious way of crying for help almost. And because, like, I mean, 20 years ago, this would have been like, holy shit, put this person in a mental health facility. But now we live in a day and age where all bets are off, essentially. We live in a very amoral society, like apathetic. Nobody cares.
Well, to be honest, this is a kind of cold demeanor to say, right? I'm trying to look away or so just because I don't want to get age restricted. But anyways, the one thing I have to say though, so specifically, it's survival of the fittest. You know, if these people want to go that way in that specific route, and then they end up, you know, regretting everything at the end of the day, well, hey man. Yeah, you did what you did. Your actions have consequences at the end of the day. There is a thing that says that, you know. But then also another thing as well is it's that one thing or so, right? How like a lot of people are saying, like, you know, people are finding relationships with like AI people, and then some people are getting married with these AI people and everything like that, right? It's kind of like it's like, well, you know, you decided to marry a robot. You can't have kids, you can't have generations, and you're gonna die alone when you reach that age of oldness, you know, and you got no one to blame but yourself, and you're regretting it like many years down the line, but it's already too late. So I think in my personal opinion, this is my more cold demeanor side from a long time ago or so. For me specifically, I personally don't care, because at least those mentally ill people will not reproduce and make offsprings for more mentally ill kids, and then they grow up as well and everything like that. So it's I guess it is like that survival of the fittest kind of type of way, you know. It's my more cold demeanor side, you know. That I've had a long time ago. I haven't really done it or so in a long time or so, but I did had a very cold demeanor just because the way how I was raised with my brother, and you know, and my younger sister wasn't really like that or so, but my older brother is definitely more. Me and my older brother were definitely more. We're more in that specific like perspective mind or so, you know. It's like, well, it's a cycle of life, you know. you know, survival of the fittest, because that's just how it is. That's just how we grew up specifically. So
cares about what anybody else does, because in fear of threatening other people's autonomy, like if they're not my friends or my family members, I don't care about them. And if I say anything, if I do anything, I'm gonna be persecuted. I'm gonna be hounded by certain individuals who will tell me to mind my business. Mind your business. All right, bet. I'll mind my business. And that's how you create a very apathetic society. I mean, it's quite sad. Anyways, thoughts and opinions down below. I just wanted to talk about this. Let me know yours down below in the comments, and catch you guys in the next one.
Jesus
Hi.
Christ. Honestly, that is a very crazy.
A 33-year-old.
That is a very crazy thing to hear, in my personal opinion. I don't know, man. I don't know, man. It is a wild thing to see that, but hey, it is what it is at the end of the day. I guess she must have woken up at the age of 33 or so and realized what she has done to her body and regrets what she has done or so. Maybe she had like an epiphany or something, you know, a realization, an awakening or something, you know. But yeah. Anyways, that's the end of the video. You guys can comment, like, subscribe, all that fancy jazzy stuff. I guess this is what happens when you get so much surgery. So I guess like you could say she regretted it after a while. She regretted it, but now it's like it's a little too late on that, you know. Now she's completely gone, which is very saddening in my personal opinion, but she did that to herself. You can't blame anyone else but herself at the end of the day. So, but yeah. Anyways, that's the end of the video, and peace.